There's a $4.5 trillion health and wellness industry out there, and the fastest growing modality out of any modality that exists is breathwork. In fact, Google searches are up about 200% over the past 3 years, and the most recent research shows that this is just the beginning of the breathwork boom. We haven't really even seen where this is going to go, but we do know that this is a time when the public is more informed than they ever have been before. So just getting people in a room and telling them to breathe, or sort of just copying something that's a fad out there, is just not going to cut it if you want to make a living doing this. So that is the goal of the Language of Breath Breathworker School. We want to teach you how to make a living being a breathwork coach, being a breathwork specialist, being able to coach athletes or to help CEOs through difficult times, to help people in a trauma-informed way that you can adapt as this explosion of interest in breathwork continues, as opposed to having to go back and get this certification or that certification, chase after this fad or that fad. You'll understand how breathwork works, how the underpinnings of all techniques and all methodologies, how they work. You'll understand the principles upon which they're built so that you can continue to create high-level experiences for your clients, for your workshops, and for your retreats. But before we go any further, let me introduce myself. My name is Jesse Coomer. I am the founder and the head faculty here at the Language of Breath Breathworker School. Over the last decade, I have dedicated myself to helping people live better lives using their breath and their internal awareness. I've trained the United States Special Operations, NASCAR drivers, athletes, first responders, people from all different walks of life who are looking for the edge or who are looking for a way to reach their goals that maybe they haven't looked at before. When people want something that works, they come to me. And this is what I train you to do in the Language of Breath Breathworker School. I make a full-time living doing this. I've been making a full-time living being a breathworker for many years, but it wasn't always like this. There was a time when I was a college professor, and my subject was research and rhetoric. So quite literally, I taught my students how to do deep research and how to synthesize different kinds of research so that you can start to find a bigger picture, some kind of a picture where everything starts to make sense. And that's quite literally what I did when I approached breathwork. I applied those skills. And so instead of just looking at this technique or that technique, what I was able to do is find the experts. So I found experts in breath. I went around the world following these gurus, but I was also very fortunate to make friends in the world of neuroscience and research psychology. People who are interested in this sort of thing, who were very eager to work with me to find some kind of a way to put it all together. Instead of saying, okay, this is the one way to breathe, or this is the one way to breathe, how does all of this work together so we can start to make a big picture of it? This is what led to the language of breath. Because breathwork has always overlooked major aspects of the human experience. And a lot of this has to do with a misunderstanding about many of the aspects of what it is to be a human being. Now, what we do with the language of breath is we train our clients not only how to use breathing to send messages to their unconscious processes, these things that are founded, again, these are all evidence-based things, but we also teach them how to listen, how to become more in tune with their physiology and the messages that their physiology sends, so that they can have a conversation, so they're always in communication with themselves. And what we found over the years is that there is nothing more effective for athletes, there's nothing more effective for people overcoming PTSD and other forms of trauma. There's nothing more effective for moms, for dads, for CEOs, for firefighters, for police officers, you name it. Because what we're doing is we're working with the innate language that's within all human beings. It's something that is already happening in each of us, but most of us are not aware. So what we've done is we've developed this system, the system that you can apply to any kind of client. And that's what makes the Language of Breath so unique. So you might be saying, okay, great, let's get into this. I work with the language of breath? How can I become a language of breath worker? Let me tell you a little bit about our training. We have a hybrid form of learning, and this is because you do need to learn a lot. There's a lot that you need to learn, and there's a lot of things you may need to unlearn as well. So how we do this is, first of all, click the button below. You can schedule a meeting with me. We can talk about this. But ultimately what we do is you start with a reading list and a self-study. Now this self-study can be done all at once. You can robo-watch and really get into it all at once, or you can make it go as long as you need to go. And then when you're ready, you can come to one of our capstones. Now, you can see the dates, and if you schedule a meeting with me, I'll talk to you about the dates of these capstones. We have in-person capstones. We love to go to like a beautiful place. Right now, we're headed to Utah. The mountains, absolutely gorgeous. But we also have an online option now. This is something that we started, this is our first year to have the online option. And that is because there are people from around the world who have always wanted to certify with us, and they just are not able to take the travel. So we have an online option. So take a look at the dates. And of course, you can talk to me if you'd like to set up a discovered call. We can talk about those things as well. Ultimately, once you've done the self-course, the self-paced study, and once you've completed the in-person capstone, you are a certified language of breath worker. But one of the beautiful things about this whole process is that we never leave you out to dry. You're never alone. Every single week, we get together for what we call language labs. Okay, get it? Language of breath, language labs. We get together for these language labs so you can ask questions all throughout your training and after your certification. Because after your certification, you're officially a member of the Language of Breath Collective, a group of people from all over the world who have certified with the Language of Breath, who get all the perks from being in the Language of Breath, including all the updates that each class gets. Now, let's talk just a little bit more about this capstone because it's kind of pretty awesome. So in the capstone, when you come out to this beautiful location, our main goal is to set you up for success. We want you to go out there into the world and make a great living being a breath coach that makes changes in their clients' lives and reaches people in ways other people cannot. So what we do is we set you up in the self-paced course. We set you up so that you're completely ready with all your digital content, all the things that you need in order to be a success after you graduate. One of those things is how to set up a business that brings people in, shows them that you have what they are looking for, and makes it so that you have something to offer them. In addition to all of the setup and all the things that we teach you how to set up so that by the time you graduate, you're already making money. We also set you up with a professional photo shoot. So when you're out in this beautiful place, you're getting hands-on training, you're getting training that's the best in the world, you're also getting a professional photo portfolio that you can use in your advertising, you can use on your social media, you can use however you'd like as you go forward. This is one of the things that I wish I would have had whenever I was first starting, but I had to take selfies, and I don't want you to have to do that. So we set you up with everything from how to do intake, from contraindications, the print materials, the music that is trademarked Language of Breath music that is specifically designed for your breathwork sessions, everything you can think of to make you as successful as possible, as quickly as possible. In fact, our goal is so that you can fill your first breathwork workshop within 90 days of graduating our program and build off of that success. So if you're interested in learning more, if you'd like to see if breathwork is the best path for you, take a look at the link below, go ahead and click there, and you can schedule a time to meet with me for a quick discovery call. We can go over any questions that you have and talk about which in-person or online capstone you'd like to schedule yourself for and all the other details as well. I'm looking forward to talking to you. Go ahead and click below, and I'll see you then.